السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Jazakallah khair to Al-Balagh and to yourselves to give me the opportunity to talk about myself a little bit. So I hail from Benoni, which is a city on the east of Johannesburg. Those of you that have been to the airport know we're quite close to there. My background is I'm third generation Indian origin, Gujarati background, but we've been in South Africa for more than 100 years. So, I mean, number one, my language and my culture is very different from the traditional Indians. We don't learn Urdu anymore. I speak English, Afrikaans, and isiZulu. And my background, I'm a medical doctor. I'm an anesthetist by profession. So I spend most of my day in theater, long hours, quite challenging patients, and lots of questions. So around about 2017, 2018, we had Dr. Asim Patera, at that time Dr. Asim Patera, now professor, who came as a guest speaker of the Islamic Medical Association here in South Africa. And I had so much of questions for him. At one point, he said, I said, the first thing I saw him, I said, the akhlaq of a doctor, does it develop an outcome? I mean, if I'm a muttaqi doctor, do my patients do well? And he had quite a lot of quotes about that, and I just didn't have, I was unable to access any of the knowledge. The same when it came to fatwa, because being part of the Islamic Medical Association, people will phone you and say, listen, do we switch off the machines? We in theater, life saving, life support, whatever the case is, termination of pregnancies. There were so many questions running through my mind. Um, AI just started coming, and the idea was, listen, what is the fiqh of AI? If I've got an artificial limb, do I make wudu on it? The most silliest questions would come in. I wonder if there's shaitan at one, but anyway. And then, Alhamdulillah, I've been a Hafizul Quran since 1992. And I would read Taraweeh every year continuously, year in, year out, without, and it always it troubled me that I'm reading Kalamullah and I don't understand what I'm reading. You know, it's one thing being able, if somebody gives you back what you've told them, if that person is understanding it, it just adds a little dimension to it. And so I thought I'll start with Fiqh of Medicine in Al-Balagh and take it from there, just wet my feet, do a little bit of Arabic so I can understand a bit of the Quran. And Alhamdulillah, that's how I started with Al-Balagh. I've done subsequently, I've done lots of short courses. The end of pandemic hit, and we were at the forefront of drawing up vaccines nationally and COVID guidelines for the communities and advising the ulama and your Jamiat boards in terms of what rule should we make, should we close the masjid? And I realized how little my knowledge was, and from what the big knowledge deficit we are starting. And so that's when I decided there's only one way to do this properly, and it's to basically start into Alamiyah. Alhamdulillah, Allah has inspired us to join. I mean, my third semester with Al-Balagh. Um, I just want to say that the faculties that we've been involved in, from Fiqh of Medicine, end of life medicine, to our Alamiyah course, are really world class. If you look at the medical ethics side with Professor Pasha or Mohd Khali or Dr. Faqat Saab, these are really world-class leaders. When it comes to medical ethics also with Padela, when it comes to the ulama side of it also, when it comes to the Arabic side of it also, those of you that have been in the Arabic speaking class, the Sheikh Hamad, you know, coming from a background of no Arabic knowledge, it's the most intimidating thing to sit there. And the gentleness which slowly coaxes you to make that little Arabic voice come out. I think that's very significant for us because it inspires confidence in you, you know. And the other thing is that you find that you can do a course that's ilm-based, but the tazkiya aspect is lacking. Or you can do a course that's very tasawwuf-based, where the ilm-based is low. And Al-Balagh manages to hit that balance just right. And for me, the four outstanding features about the Al-Balagh course, number one, it's modular. So you can dictate it. It's self-paced. You can say, listen, I want to pace it this way. You know, it might be 8 years, but it's going to take me 10 years. Or I've got a lot of free time. I'm going to take a few extra courses and try and go quickly. Then it's accessible. So the learning, the LMS that we use is world-class. I think it's in the top 5 in the world across the board. So it's really, really world-class, accessible, easy to communicate, easy to navigate. And for me, what's very, very important is the accountability. So you have that sit down with Mufti Abrar once, I think it's once every 6 weeks or once a month, where he says, listen, where are you now? What are you doing? That type of thing. And it holds you accountable. If you did not say that you will be excused from a class, you'll get that email. You'll even get a phone call if the class is really quiet or there's nobody in the class. So I think that's for me, that's the outstanding features about Al-Balagh is that it's modular, it's self-paced, it's accessible, and it holds you accountable. So in short, that's how my journey to Alimiya has come. It's quite challenging at times because I work very long hours during the week, and so I have a lot of family commitments on the weekend. But Alhamdulillah, Allah's given us further to find the time. And as far as motivating somebody to say why join Al-Balagh, I hesitant on the periphery of this for more than a decade. And you know, I think if Allah Ta'ala puts it in your heart, if your heart is inclined towards the dini knowledge, then take the plunge. Because your classmates are going to be like your family, and the ulama are going to be your mentors. And there is a company you're going to be keeping. And it's a win-win. Because at the end of the day, no matter what happens from here on in, you will always be part of the good company. Jazakallah khair.